Reggie Bush, the guy who made college football feel like a video game, with moves that left defenders in the dust and fans on their feet. We all remember the dazzling highlights, the Heisman Trophy, and those insane runs. But here's the question: just how good was Reggie Bush really? Did he truly live up to the hype, or did the pressure of being the guy sometimes hold him back? Let's take a closer look at Reggie Bush and see how good he was really. Reggie Bush, officially Reginald Alfred Bush II, was born on March 2, 1985, in sunny San Diego, California. His parents split up when he was just a little kid, so he ended up growing up in the nearby suburb of Spring Valley with his mom, Denise, his stepdad, Lamar Griffin, and his half-brother, Jovan. Denise worked as a sheriff's deputy at the Vista County Jail, while Lamar Griffin split his time as a security guard and a minister. Even though his family situation was a bit unconventional, it was full of love, and Bush grew up seeing Lamar as his real dad. Sure, there were the usual ups and downs between his biological parents, but he had a solid, supportive home. From the start, Bush was an active kid, always on the move, doing well in school, but with more than enough energy to keep his teachers and parents on their toes. So when he asked if he could join a football team at 9, Denise and Lamar figured it might be the perfect outlet for all that spirit. He signed up for a local Pop Warner team, a youth football league that's all about safety and fun, with age and weight rules to keep kids safe. And right out of the gate, Bush was a natural. In his very first game, he was dodging tackles, sprinting down the field, and scoring touchdowns like he was born to do it. Those moves, his speed, his knack for slipping past defenders would go on to define his career and make him one of the most exciting players to watch. Football went from a childhood passion to a career in no time. By the time he hit high school, he was already impressing everyone with his athletic skills. He quickly stood out as a top running back for Helix High School in La Mesa. What made his story even more interesting was his partnership with Alex Smith, who later became the first pick in the 2005 NFL Draft. It was pretty unique for two players from the same high school to eventually both compete for the Heisman Trophy, the most famous award in college football. In high school, Bush's talent brought him the Silver Pigskin Trophy, a major award given by San Diego's KUSI Prep Pigskin Report. And by 2003, Rivals.com ranked him as the #1 running back recruit in the nation. He was already turning heads and gaining attention from football fans all over. But football wasn't his only strength. Bush was also a track star. His speed was unmatched in the state, with personal bests like a 10.42-second 100-meter dash. His times were among the fastest, not just in California, but across the U.S., and he became known for his explosive speed on the field, making him incredibly hard for defenders to catch. When Bush got an athletic scholarship to play at the University of Southern California, USC, his career took off. Under the guidance of Coach Pete Carroll, Bush became a versatile player known as a five-way threat. Carroll saw Bush as someone who could run, catch, return, and even pass the ball. And he was right. Bush quickly became one of USC's most exciting players, racking up a freshman record of 1,331 all-purpose yards in 2003. He was recognized as the Pac-10's Newcomer of the Year, and people started to notice his name in a big way. By his sophomore year, Bush was even more impressive. He placed 5th in the Heisman Trophy voting in 2004, which was a huge deal, and he also earned All-American honors. His stats were remarkable: 908 rushing yards, 6 touchdowns, and hundreds more yards from kickoffs and punt returns. Altogether, he reached 2,330 all-purpose yards, leading the Pac-10 and ranking among the top in the country. He was a constant threat on the field, no matter where he was or what he was doing. But these stats, they were just the tip of the iceberg. What came next would redefine expectations. In 2005, Bush took home the Heisman Trophy with a unanimous win, a rare and incredible achievement. He also won several other awards, including the Associated Press College Football Player of the Year, the Doak Walker Award for Best Running Back, and the Walter Camp Award. That year, he averaged an eye-popping 222.3 all-purpose yards per game, including a record-setting 513 all-purpose yards in a single game against Fresno State. That game was unforgettable and showed his full range of talents, from running and receiving to returning the ball. Bush also became known for the Bush Push during a game against Notre Dame. In the final moments, he gave his teammates a push over the goal line for the winning score, a moment that college football fans still remember and talk about today. This showed Bush's determination to do whatever it took to help his team win, and it only added to his legacy. In his time at USC, Bush set records that would be tough to break. He ended his college career with 6,541 all-purpose yards, one of the highest totals in NCAA Division I-A history. Even though he only started 14 out of 39 games, his stats were amazing. He averaged 7.3 yards per carry, scored 13 receiving touchdowns, and was a force in returning kickoffs and punts. By the end of the 2005 season, Bush had racked up an impressive 2,611 all-purpose yards and 18 touchdowns, 15 rushing, 2 receiving, and 1 punt return. On December 10th, he claimed the Heisman Trophy with 784 first-place votes, leaving Vince Young in second with 79 votes. Bush's 2,541 voting points were second to only O.J. Simpson's record. He became the 71st Heisman winner and the 7th USC player to take home the prestigious honor. Along with the Heisman, Bush snagged the Doak Walker Award, Walter Camp Award, and was named Pac-10 Offensive Player of the Year. Quite the year for Bush. After conquering college football, Bush decided to skip his senior year and aim for the NFL draft. At USC's Pro Day, he proved just how fast he was, clocking 4.33 seconds in the 40-yard dash. Most people thought Bush would be the first pick, hands down. But then, in a twist, the Houston Texans shocked everyone by drafting Mario Williams, a defensive end. The New Orleans Saints grabbed Bush with the second pick, which at the time felt like a big win for them. Fans and analysts thought Houston had made a massive mistake. But what happened when Bush finally hit the NFL? Bush's first season with the Saints was a mix of highlights and growing pains. In his debut game against the Cleveland Browns, he showed off with 141 total yards, letting everyone know he was ready to make plays. He didn't start right away. Veteran Deuce McAllister held the main running back role, but the Saints' plans to pair them together worked. As the season went on, Bush became a crucial part of the team, contributing to a memorable season for New Orleans. The next year, 2007, started rough for Bush. In the opener against the Colts, he struggled, and the Saints lost 41-10. He had some tough games too, averaging just 2.7 yards per carry at times. Later that season, he injured his knee and missed the last 4 games, ending with 581 rushing yards and 6 touchdowns. It wasn't the easiest season, but he still showed potential to bounce back. And bounce back he did. In 2008, Bush came out strong. During Week 3 against the Denver Broncos, he scored twice and made big plays in both running and catching. Then, in a game against the Vikings, he tied an NFL record by returning 2 punts for touchdowns in a single game. He even set a record for the fastest time to 200 catches, just 34 games, which highlighted how versatile he was. Bush's knee problems resurfaced, sidelining him part of the season, but he returned in November and helped keep the Saints in the playoff race. His standout moment came in 2010, when he and the Saints won the NFC Championship and went on to win the Super Bowl. In the divisional playoff against the Cardinals, Bush had a remarkable game with 84 rushing yards, including a 46-yard touchdown run and an 83-yard punt return for a touchdown. His late touchdown in the NFC Championship helped secure New Orleans' Super Bowl berth, where they defeated the Colts 31-17, earning Bush his first Super Bowl ring. In 2011, the Saints traded Reggie Bush to the Dolphins, marking a fresh start. Though Miami initially struggled, Bush soon hit his stride. In his second game, he rushed for 172 yards and scored 2 touchdowns, earning AFC Offensive Player of the Week. After ups and downs over several seasons, he retired in 2017 with impressive stats: 5,490 rushing yards, 3,598 receiving yards, and 58 touchdowns. In 2019, he was inducted into the Saints Hall of Fame, celebrated for his key role in their success. Bush's skill, speed, and memorable plays solidified his legacy as a fan favorite.